From almost retiring after 2 back-to-back losses to scoring his first win after 2 years, Anthony Joshua has been through quite the roller coaster, and fans can't wait to see what's next. For starters, his fight against Jermaine Franklin was a game changer as he was gearing up to return to the ring for the first time ever since he lost to Alexander Usyk. The fighter was seeking his first professional win since 2020, and that's when he made it pretty clear that a third defeat simply wasn't an option. But even if that had happened, he was ready to officially retire. I mean, a third defeat would have practically shoved his career to the ground anyway. So maybe retiring himself would have been a better option to face the embarrassment. And like he said, it's all about the competitor in you. So if that's gone, then there's no point fighting because people aren't going to show up to watch such a fight either. Not to mention, this industry brings a lot of pressure with it, and for AJ, it's taken up a notch ever since he lost to Usyk twice in a row. Having said that, some also claim that he's pretty used to the pressure at this point. Lawrence Okoli says that Joshua should be able to handle the pressure because he's been in a high-pressure situation for a pretty long time now. On top of that, he's done a lot of sparring as well, so he should be good to go now. And he wasn't the only one. Even former WBO cruiserweight champion Johnny Nelson expected Joshua to beat Franklin, while agreeing that he should definitely retire if he faces another defeat, because let's be honest, there was no way he was gonna bounce back from that. But we all know what happened. He won the fight by unanimous decision. Now you gotta admit, he's got the physical skills anyone needs to become the heavyweight champion of the world. And he has already shown us how talented he is over the past few years. Well, right until December 2020 at least, because after that he's been on a pretty bad streak. But now that he's finally scored a professional win again, do you think he's gonna be able to compete with the elite in his division? And I'm talking about the fighters he's got on his list, like Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. Sure, the crowd's pretty hyped for the fight, but if he manages to negotiate a deal only to lose another time, it's not gonna be worth it. I'm just saying, he needs to gear up, and easy wins aren't gonna get him anywhere. Although one person might make the fight a reality, a fight with Wilder could be massive. At least that's what his promoter Eddie Hearn had to say. I mean, it's definitely gonna be guaranteed entertainment. Not to mention, the fight could have happened back in 2019 when they held all 4 titles between them and seemed pretty invincible. But you can't really go past boxing politics now, can you? Or maybe just a mix of that and egos plus conflict over money. That doesn't go a long way. Fast forward to 2023, and now they've got no belts to defend or any mandatory challenges to finish up. So it's probably going to be a lot easier to negotiate a deal at this point. But let's not forget that the American is probably one of the most devastating punchers in history. Is that what Joshua needs right now? Maybe, because small fights and easy wins aren't gonna get him anywhere. Plus, he's under a new trainer now, and Hearn says the more fights he's got under his trainer, the better it'll be. But let's face it, the crowd isn't that patient right now.
Do you know what? There's no facts on it, but it's just one of the old school myths that haven't left boxing for so many years. And it's the weakening of legs. I think it's much the late night.
Having said that, there's another fighter who Joshua might pick for his next showdown, Joe Joyce, the #1 challenger for Usyk's WBO belt. Right now, he's set to face China's Zhilei Zhang in London on April 15th. And he said that if he comes back with a win, he's ready to face Joshua in his next fight. Now, he's got this granite chin that can bulldoze his way through opponents, and he's got a bunch of British, Commonwealth, and European titles to back him up. He's won all 15 fights with 14 knockouts. In fact, 2-weight world champion Carl Frampton said he's the guy nobody wants to fight, but Joshua needs a challenge right now. Sure, it's not gonna be as tough of a fight as he would have with Wilder or Fury, but it's still gonna be a good fight. And it might be a good time, because Barry Hearn has a different plan to set up for him. He wants AJ to take 3 warm-up fights in 2023 before before making it to the Tyson-Fury clash, or 2 at the very least. But let's be honest, he needs to learn and improve this year before making it to the big payday. But ultimately, the decision is up to Joshua. Does he want to take a few learning fights, or go directly to the big money clash against the Gypsy King? Well, if he decides to wait, then you're probably gonna see a fight with Fury stretched out to 2024. Sure, a slower approach is gonna be a lot better considering his luck over the past 2 years, but he's also trying to fight some pretty big names anyway, like Dillian Whyte or Deontay Wilder. Right now, it's hard to know what he's gonna do for his next fight because he's got a couple of options to choose from. Not to mention, the crowd's hyped to see his next fight ever since he scored a win against Jermaine. But if you ask me, there's another fighter on the list, and that's Whyte, because they've got some history too. I mean, their rivalry literally dates back to their amateur days when he beat Joshua in 2009. Yeah, it's that long ago. Ever since then, the bad blood seeped into their professional careers, especially when AJ stopped his rival with a 7th round stoppage in a terrific contest. So now Whyte's ready to redeem himself because he wants revenge. But he's not sure if Joshua's ready to fight him since there isn't a lot of hype around this. As for Hearn, he's definitely hinted at a fight between the two rivals, probably in the O2 Arena, but only time will tell if that becomes a reality. Having said that, even if he's going after a few warm-up fights, a fight with Wilder or Whyte should be the perfect one right before he finally negotiates a deal with Fury, even if that's in 2024. But are you sure he should wait that long? Sure, everyone wanted to see whether he was gonna be able to score a win after 2 years, but now he needs more than an easy win, otherwise he's gonna risk being forgotten.
Yeah, I am a bit disappointed, but it's for the fans, isn't it? You know, however they felt, however the fans felt is how I feel, because I'm here for them. That's what I'm here for.
That's good to hear. So you're an entertainer in the end, yeah?
To a degree, yeah.
And that also means saying goodbye to the fight against Fury, and maybe even moving to retirement after all. Having said that, with his latest performance and a very conscious effort not to be reckless, his popularity and ability to sell out arenas seem to have diminished. Frankly, this year is a game changer for him because it's gonna decide how his career turns out. Sure, he's set up 3 showdowns for his comeback, but every single move is gonna be scrutinized, so he needs to be super careful. Ever since Usyk destroyed him in the ring twice, even AJ hasn't been the same, let alone his career and popularity. I mean, let's not forget his emotional outburst after the defeat. Right now, he needs a confidence boost. Whether that's from an easy win or fighting an elite level heavyweight, that's for him to decide.
The referee called it off when he thought I couldn't fight. It's a shame. But I don't want anyone to kind of drown in their sorrows because it's about the long game, it's not the short game.
You took Andy Ruiz on short notice. Do you think there was a part of you that underestimated him?
If I was to make excuses, I'll say, yeah, definitely. But it's no excuses, it's my own fault. I got caught with a big shot.
Until then, this is what Anthony Joshua's future looks like right now.